this shit the fuck up. Let's go, look.
I stack dollars, players in Chevys and Monte Carlos, moving big weight by the carload. First you get the money, the power, then the bitches follow. Got a burner on my waist and it's still with hollows. You know the motto, swig it out the bottle. Got a couple model chicks and they love to swallow. Fill up my cup right quick, that's macchiato. And I don't care if you black, white, or eating tacos. I put that on my Tata Andres Delgado. Fuck around and end up in a cup of caldo. I let the 9 blow, running from the 5-0. Pistol on my side, so if you trip, you get your mind blown. I'm from the city where them winos run up to your side though. Empty out a clip and watch it die slow. And then the preacher read the Bible. And you're waking the mistakes for trying to take I won't. Beauty belong. Music's the cure, cause when I'm spitting on this microphone, there's never a flaw, yeah, never a flaw, never a flaw, cause when I'm spitting on the microphone, there's never a flaw,
Ooh, we are back, guys. Another episode of the O.O.C. Big Afford Entertainment. Roberto is in the house. Still
Yes.
haven't heard from JG yet, so hopefully when everything is good, he will reach back out. But until then, we're going to do what we do over here. We're going to handle business the way we handle business. It is what it is. Roberto, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
Right here, Wednesday nights with my boy Big Afford Entertainment and MIA JG Shaolin Terrific. Get in touch, yo. Get in touch. If somebody knows, reach out to him. Just to holler. Just let us know he's safe,
100%. I always want to make sure everything is good with our homies and make sure everybody's on point. We got a few topics on here tonight. The first one, as you see, is about the BAFTA awards, the controversy over there. Roberto doesn't really know much about it, so it's definitely going to be interesting to get his take on it. But before we get into that, I had a question for you, Roberto. This was asked to me from this lady's at work, right? She was like, "Hey," and I want to know what you would say. She said, "Would you let your wife go to her ex's funeral?" Before I tell you what my answer was, what's your answer, Roberto?
Shit, you caught me off guard, man. You kind of ruining my buzz.
It's okay. You can take a 5 minutes later on and get them heights back on again.
You know what? It depends,
Mm-hmm.
If she tells me that, she wants to say her condolences to the family and whatnot, I'm okay with it. I'm secure with that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I guess I'd be okay with it.
All right. Good answer. I was like, she can do whatever she wants to. I don't tell my wife or my woman or anyone what they can or cannot do. You know what I mean? So if that's the case, if she wants to go and do that, she can go right ahead and do that.
Well, I
But
can't tell her what to do, but whether I'm okay with it or vex is the outcome.
that's what exactly.
I'm
There's consequences to them actions. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
yeah, you do whatever you want to do, but you gotta understand what may happen when you get home. You know, maybe I'm okay with it when you get home. Maybe I'm not. Who knows? But at the same time, yes, there are consequences to your actions. 100%. 100%. So I don't. I don't conform to the like, oh, telling a woman how to dress or what to do and all kinds of stuff like that. I don't do that. You do what you want to do. Just know that, when we together, you represent us and handle yourself accordingly. That's how I see
Watch this guy.
it. What? What?
Handle,
What's
your,
wrong with that?
handle yourself
Huh?
accordingly.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Handle yourself accordingly. You know what I mean? So it is what it is with that. Um, but yeah, so hold on, I got the wrong screen up there. There we go. That's better. Now we have a few things that we got to talk about, and I know Roberto doesn't really know much about it because he didn't hear about it. I asked him backstage. He was like, "No." So if you haven't known, there was the
What-
BAFTA awards.
Sorry,
What's
can
that?
someone explain what BAFTA means?
I couldn't tell you, bro. I guess it's just the name of the award show. I have no idea. Right? It's like a movie awards,
It's
anyways.
got to be for
Right? So,
something. It's got to be abbreviated for something because
oh,
BAFTA.
maybe British something. It's a British award, right?
Oh, okay,
So
okay,
it's a
okay.
British award show, something like that, right? So You have Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Linden up there. They're doing a presentation. I'm gonna play this video, Roberto. We're gonna listen to what happened, and I'm starting off with the full context. So it starts off with this. All right. So this is what happened at the awards.
No volume.
Oh, no volume.
No.
Shit. All right, hold on. Yeah, I had it muted. My bad. All right, that should be good. Let me. Oh no, this one. There we go. All right, so let's start that over. My bad. Technical difficulties. Didn't have no volume, but let's hear it again.
Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
We're here to celebrate.
Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a vital part of movie making.
What?
Did you hear it?
I didn't hear that.
Huh?
I didn't hear that.
He yelled out the N word.
No way.
Yes. So that's just the first part of the story. All right. We're gonna go to this article real quick, and I'm going to explain. This is from Vanity Fair. It says John Davison gives first interview and explains Tourette tics after shouting N-word and other slurs at BAFTAs. I
Oh,
felt a
so
wave of shame. Huh?
this guy said it?
This guy said it. But he has Tourette's. All right. So, John Davison, the Scottish Tourette syndrome activist and real life inspiration for I Swear, was thrust into the spotlight at the 79th BAFTA Awards when his involuntary vocal tics disrupted the ceremony, including an outburst of racial slurs that occurred as Sinner star Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Lindo presented an award. In an exclusive mail interview with Variety, Davison offers his perspective on what happened, including what precautions and guardrails he had expected the BBC and BAFTA to take before attending the ceremony. So, since the fallout, Davison seems shares that he reached out to the studio handling Sinners in order to directly apologize to Jordan, Lindo, and production designer Hannah Bleacher. Here he is giving his account in his own words. So many people's only frame of reference for Tourette syndrome comes from stereotypes, particularly the idea that it's just swearing or just saying slurs for shock value. How do you describe the condition to somebody starting from that place? Very often, the media focuses on my particular type of Tourette's, which is called corphilia. And the involuntary use of obscene and offensive language. This symptom affects 10% to 30% of people with the condition and is not a criterion for diagnosis. However, it is one of the hardest tics to manage and can be very distressful for those living with it. Many individuals report discrimination and isolation as a result. I have been physically beaten to within the inch of my life with an iron bar after ticking a comment to a young woman whose boyfriend, an accomplice, ambushed me one evening. The real challenge isn't the ticks themselves, but the misconception surrounding them. Understanding the full range of Tourette's helps reduce stigma and supports everyone living with the condition. When socially unacceptable words come out, the guilt and the shame on part of the person with the condition is often unbearable and causes enormous distress. I can't begin to explain how upset and distraught I have been as the impact from Sunday sinks in. Depending on the severity of the conditions, people have either an ability to suppress what they are saying for short periods of time or they don't. Suppressing them can be compared to taking a full bottle of Coca Cola and shaking it each time you feel the need to tick. Before long, the pressure is so intense it has to be released and it bursts out. And on occasion, that can lead to a tick attack. For me personally, my brain works so fast and the ticks have always been so aggressive that I have no idea when they're coming or what they will be. I have almost no ability to suppress, and when the situation is stressful, I have absolutely no choice but to tick. It simply bursts out of me like a gunshot. When the tics involves a slur or taboo phrase, what's the single most important thing you want people to understand about the distinction between intent and involuntary neurological responses? I want people to know and understand that my tics have absolutely nothing to do with what I think, feel, or believe. It's an involuntary neurological misfire. My tics are not an intention, not a choice, and not a reflection of my value. Those who have seen, I swear, will understand this. My tics have said and done things over the years that have caused huge pain and upset. Punching Dottie, my second mother, in the face is a prime example. Dottie is someone I love dearly. I would never want to hurt her. I have even I have even punched her in the face when she was driving at speeds almost causing a head-on collision. Tourette's can make my body or voice do things I don't mean, and sometimes those ticks land on the worst possible words. I want it to be really clear that the intent behind them is zero. What you're hearing is a symptom, not my character, not my thought, not my belief. Tourette's can feel spiteful and searches out the most upsetting ticks for me personally and for those around me. What you hear me shouting is literally the uh, last thing in the world I believe. It is. It is the opposite of what I believe. The most offensive word that I tick at the ceremony, for example, is a word I would never use and would never would I'm sorry and would completely condemn if I did not have Tourette's. I am often triggered by what I see and or what I hear, and part of the condition is called ecloquia, whatever. For example, when the chair of the BAFTA started speaking on Sunday, I shouted boring. On Sunday, Alan Common joked about his own sexuality and references Paddington the bear. Maybe you would like to come home with me, Paddington. It wouldn't be the first time I have taken a hairy Perversian bear home with me. This resulted in homophobic tics from me and led to a shout of pedophilia that was likely triggered because Paddington the bear is a children's character. I would appreciate reports of the event explaining that I ticked perhaps 10 different offensive words on the night of the awards. The N word was one of these, and I completely understand its significance in history and in the modern world. But most articles are given the impression that I shouted one single slur on Sunday. Okay, so we'll pause there for a second and get your thoughts on it real quick, Roberto. What are your thoughts?
Well, if the guy has Tourette's
What up?
and it's a justifiable terminology, like how could you get mad at the guy?
Exactly.
I see nothing to gain from it from doing that. If anything, you're trying to ruin your career if you have one. I don't know. The fact that he
So,
has that and it was very awkward. I didn't even really hear what he said, and the moment was like caught everybody off.
so here's the thing, right? And I think this is where a lot of it comes down to the BAFTA awards, right? So from what we know, and I think I have an article on it which I'm going to find, but there was um a presenter or award winner that yelled out "Free Palestine." BAFTA took it out. You don't hear it on the live feed. So they had a 2 hour delay, right? So this is where the problem comes is that with their 2 hour delay, they cut out the offensive to them, Free Palestine, but they left in this guy saying the N word.
Hmm, that's different.
Exactly. Right. So that's where the drama comes in. Now, this guy saying the N word and having the Tourette's, whatever. But one thing I did read and noticed about this article, which I'm going not the article, but the video, which I'm going to go back to because in this video, right at the beginning, they say Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Linden say, and listen carefully.
Delroy and I are delighted to be presenting the first BAFTA of the night for a
So they were giving the first award of the night. So maybe this guy did spew out um racial words and all kinds of stuff throughout the show, right? And that's what a lot of people are saying. Oh, well, it wasn't just that, he said it out. But this was the first time, this was the first award. That means that this was probably the first thing he yelled out when they came on the screen, right? And they did not tell Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Linden that there was someone in the audience with Tourette's. So they have going up on stage and they hear that. And I was like, yo, they are very, the word I'm looking for is very composed with that. Because if I don't know that there's someone with Tourette's there and someone's like, hey, N word, it's going to be a different outcome. You know what I mean? It's going to be a very different outcome. So here's another article where it says the BBC broadcast of racial slurs at BAFTA unacceptable, says Nani, whoever Nani is. But the broadcast of the racial slur at BAFTA awards was completely unacceptable and harmful, the culture secretariat said. Lisa Nanley said she had spoken to outgoing BBC Director General Tim Davie and welcomed its investigation into Sunday incident, saying the BBC must ensure that this never happens again. Early Earlier, the BBC described the slur by Tourette's campaigner John Davison, whose condition involves involuntary tics, as a serious mistake, and it would fast track an investigation. Nana added that she shared the serious concerns raised by so many people after the slur was shouted while black actor Michael B. Jordan and Delroy Linden were on stage. BBC spokesman said the Director General has instructed the Executive Complaints Unit to complete a fast track investigation and provide full response to the compliments. The EC rules on whether the BBC output has broken the corporation's editorial guidelines, raising questions. Also on Wednesday, the head of the House of Commons committee wrote to Davy to ask how the incident happened. The Common Culture Committee chairwoman, conservative MP Dane Caroline Durange, whatever, said Sunday's broadcast raised questions about the extent to which lessons have been learned from previous scandals. She highlighted Bob Vane's performance at Glastonbury last year when the BBC streamed anti Semitic remarks and other derogatory comments made on stage by the punk duo. The committee asked why the slur was not edited out of Sunday's BAFTA broadcast, what systems are in place to prevent the incident, why lessons from Glastonbury were not applied at the BAFTA, and what steps are being taken to prevent similar instances in the future. Labor MP Don Butler also wrote to Dave earlier the week and asked for an urgent explanation for what happened. So I don't know if this one actually gets into the fact that they so someone said screw Palestine and they completely wiped that out of the broadcast but left the racial slur in there. So that's why people are having an issue, is that they they left the racial slur in there for a reason, right? Now I'm going to ask you, Roberto, what do you think that reason is?
because it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Because they do not give a damn about what happens to black people,
Well, the
right?
same way you say what they could say on X and no repercussions.
Oh, 100%. And BAFTA throwing it under the rug is basically, and this is why I say a lot of the stuff that when it comes to black people, they don't care, right? They're just throwing it under the rug like it was nothing and it was a mistake, which it probably was. But at the same time, there's no real apology. You know what I mean? It's like we do the same thing all the time. Oh, just suck it up. Black people suck it up. You know what I mean? It's just a word. Why are you hating on the word? But there are a lot of TikTokers and a lot of, people out there who are actually doing things on it. So let me show you this real quick. Let me just share the screen. I think I did. Yeah, I did. All right. So this is, I don't know if you know this guy, but he does a lot of comedy sketches. He had something to say. So let's listen to what he had to say.
Google has apologized after an AI generated news alert about the BAFTA Film Awards racial slur incident included the N word. Would you like to see the news alert that Google's AI sent out? Of course you would. Here it is. How the Tourette's fallout unfolded at the BAFTA film ... The Hollywood Reporter. See more on niggers. Interested? Not interested. See more on niggers.
That's what it said.
During Black
Yes.
History Month.
Yes.
Google has apologized after an AI generated news alert.
Yes. Google had to apologize for that 100%. So this is what I'm saying. It's okay for people to run around and say the N word like it's absolutely nothing and no consequences get taken for that whatsoever. But if you say any type of racial slur that has to do with the LGBT community or Jewish people, you know what's going to happen? You're going to get banned.
You're fried.
You're going to get banned. And I'm so sick of it. We had a conversation on the Spoiler Kings last night where we were talking about the same thing. And a lot of them were saying, you don't want to blame the guy with Tourette's 100%, But at the same time, I read what he said to you guys, and none of it really sounds like an apology. And we said we don't think the guy needs to apologize for his disease, right? I don't think that. I don't think he needs to apologize for his disease. But you have some kind of common courtesy because you said it on national TV, and it don't just hurt, the two people up on stage. You're talking about black people in general. It's not your fault. We get that. But common courtesy, you've been come on, listen. I didn't for those of you that know I have Tourette's, that was not the way I think it. I did not mean to do that. And I have a deepest regrets or apologies for anybody that I offended. That would have been okay, right? But you taking the stance that you made kind of makes me seem like, well, I don't really think that way, but it is what it is. It's black people. Who cares? BBC had the chance to block it out, and they didn't. Not to mention, why is someone with Tourette's? Because everyone knows what Tourette's is, right? Why is someone at Tourette's sitting there close to a mic? Because I heard they sat him down and there was like a mic there around him, his vicinity. Why is he not somewhere where you're not going to hear that on stage or on camera or on national TV? Right? There's so many questions as to why this was able to get through.
It's like a setup.
And no publicity is a good publicity. You know what I'm saying? Right? Bad publicity or whatever is still good publicity. He said they blurred out free Palestine, but not the N word. Unacceptable. 100%. And I think and I think whoever said free Palestine has every right to do so. Has every right to do so. You know what I mean? Because we all see what's going on over there. We all see it's a genocide. There's no doubt about it. We can argue till the cows come home. You're not going to convince me that it's not a genocide that's going on over there. Right? But it's okay to bleep that out because that's offensive. You know what I mean? That's going to hurt people. But hey, guys, we're not going to blurt out the N word. Not to mention the fact that the N word was said this time, and then when another black creator went up there, and what he said in the article is he sees something and words get associated with what he sees, right? So the fact that words that word is getting associated with black people is not his fault. But I said on the Spoiler Kings, it's society's fault, right? Because we have now made it okay and acceptable for this word to be said by not just black people, but by other races. And it's driving me up a wall. What's up, Dandelion? How you doing? Right? I talked
So
about it
what's
last
up to a
night.
bunch of people who came in? We didn't even hail them out.
Yeah, Dewan is in the house. Thank you very much.
Thumbs up.
Dandelion, John, Tony, of course, is up in the house. So we appreciate you guys 100%. Right.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, And I said this before, and I said this on the stream last night, and I was like, there was a time when Oprah was trying to get that word banned. And black people were like, nah, screw that. Screw Oprah. Fuck that. We're going to say this word. We're going to do what we need to do. Ain't nobody going to tell us we can't use the word. And to sit there and say, black people use it as in terms of endearments, my nigga, my nigga, my nigga. I'm sorry. It just doesn't fly anymore. You know what I mean? It doesn't fly anymore because now what we did is we desensitized people from that word. My dad used to tell me all the time. He would be like, "Yo, don't ever say that word around me. Don't say it around me." He's like, "I don't care if you're singing it in your songs or whatever. Don't say it around me." And that's because that generation, that word meant that you were going to get beat, get killed. It was a way of holding black people down. And, it's a word that I think that we as black people should stop using as well.
It, wa-
100%.
it wasn't a badge, you know?
Hmm?
It wasn't a badge.
Exactly. But we hold it like it is though, right? It's funny how we're the only people that will take a slur against us and try to use it as a positive way, right? The
Well,
LGBTQ.
if you
Yeah,
look
go
at a
ahead.
lot of, because of now, like I said, because of all this trying to erase Black history, and you start hearing a lot more about Black history, the word Negro, nigger, they all
Mm-hmm.
have different representation.
100%.
And they took what was a representation of royalty and changed it to work against us as obviously a demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
And
100%.
like, JG said and Danny said, in the South, it would be almost impossible to remove that from their everyday talk because it's their everyday talk.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even use that word.
Same here. At least
And
I
when I
try
hear it,
not
I don't
to.
like it. To be honest, when I hear it, I don't like it.
Same here. Same here. But that goes to like I said with the music, right? Because when we when we're listening to our music, right? And you have that word being said in the music, there are white people that listen to those
Yeah,
to
we had
that
this
music.
conversation, you remember?
Yes, 100%. There's white people that listen to that music and they run around and say, "Look, I've watched videos, bro, where there's just a bunch of white people. There's no black people in the video, and the white people are running around saying the N word. Oh, what up, my nigga? What up, my nigga?" And I'm like, so that's how acceptable it is, right? That we're just gonna allow people to say it, no problem, right? Videos and whatever, and it's just it's getting to a point now where it feels like, and I said this last night, that black people are still on the bottom of the totem pole, right? When it comes to these type of things, where it's like they always tell us, suck it up. Don't worry about it, right? If someone says the N word to you and you punch him in the face, then what are you? You're the angry black man. You're the angry black man.
I don't know if I wanted to talk to you about something like this today because, it's funny. It's almost like they know, and I know that's why they do it because they poke the bear.
Mm-hmm.
And, when the bear lashes out, the bear is the wrong one.
Yes.
Because how I see it is by them poking the bear, it's justified because the bear ain't shit.
Mm-hmm.
I told you that story. I think I brought it up when we had the same conversation. I was standing in that metro and it was packed
Mm-hmm.
like sardines going to Longay.
Mm-hmm.
And, there wasn't really room for anybody to come, but this guy comes and stands right up on me.
Mm-hmm.
So I look at him. I'm like, yo, you don't have to touch me, man. I
Mm-hmm.
take a step over. He takes a step over. It's not really far I could go.
Mm-hmm.
So now my heart is pumping blood to my body. This
Because you want to
motherfucker,
knock him out, right?
he's testing me. He's testing me.
Uh-huh.
So I looked at him. I said, okay. I took a step over. He went to take a step over, and I fucking lifted him. Didn't know my left arm could do it, but Anzo, I put myself, I don't even know where I was. At that moment, there wasn't a person in that metro besides me and this guy. And when it cleared up and I saw him on the floor and a couple of people with him, everybody's looking at me like I'm the bad guy. And I said, I said it pretty loud, and the metro was packed, Anzo. I said,
Mm-hmm.
oh, you know what? Nobody saw this guy coming up on me.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody saw this guy. I moved over. I moved over. And everybody's still looking at me like dumbfounded.
Mm-hmm.
So this is where Angry Black Man came in, and I said, "Fuck everybody,
Yeah, 100%.
fuck everybody." Leave me the fuck alone. Now I'm Angry Black Man.
100%. And there's a lot of times where I'll be posting like on X, you see these clips where, there's white people doing something to black people and then they get their ass whooped. And I'll just say, leave black people alone. At this point, yes, leave us alone, right? At the end of the day, we're going to get blamed for being the angry black man. But when is it okay for us to defend ourselves, right? When is it okay? Dandelion said here, she said, I can understand trying to reclaim the word that's used to degrade black people, but I can also understand just wanting to get rid of the use entirely, right? Absolutely 100%. And here's the thing, because if you go on X or you go on any of these major platforms and you say any slur, Jewish people, gay community, you getting banned right away, but you can write the N word over and over and over again and still not get any issues, not get any bans. Your tweet may get it may get you may get a, oh, this tweet is not visible by everybody or something like that, but you're not getting a 10-day ban. You're not getting a 5-day ban. You're not getting a 24-hour ban. But say that word, or even say something anti-Semitic and see what happens. You know what I mean? So it goes to the point where it's like it doesn't matter. And that's why I said last night, well, like that's why I don't care when it's race bending in movies or something like that, because they're gonna get angry anyways when they see black culture. They're just gonna get angry. They don't, and not everybody, guys, because we're gonna say this again, because I know a lot of people say, oh, they're trashing white people. We're not talking about all white people.
Well, obviously, there's some in our panel, they don't feel away because they know what we're talking about is legit.
Yeah, 100%. But
What's up?
you'll get
Let me
those
bring this
ones.
up. Fuck them. Let me bring this up before I forget.
Go ahead.
You remember okay, now we can say it, during COVID,
Yes.
what happened? People started looking to blame. Who did they blame?
The
China.
Asians.
China.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was
Mm-hmm.
China.
Yeah,
But they
yeah.
went after, because they're illiterate, they went after everybody who was Asian.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, I started seeing on TV, Asian Lives Matters. And
Mm-hmm.
they started bringing Asian
Mm-hmm.
superstars, even though they were Korean or,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Japanese or whatever. They were
Mm-hmm.
speaking highly. That was like a 5-minute thing. All of a sudden,
Mm-hmm.
you don't see those commercials anymore, because
100.
everything went back to legit. Our
100.
fucking commercial is forever running
100%.
because this shit did not and will not stop. And I feel with the momentum, again, Trump might have made us aware of how racist the US really was. Because we know, the world's racist.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, there's degrees to everything. So
Mm-hmm.
he enlightened us on how racist the US is. At the same time, what he's done is caused black people to unite. And he's also may have caused black people to unite with Latinos and everybody else he's going against.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be a good thing. Let's
Oh,
not just get a
100%.
band-aid for the moment and then you go back to your life of calling us the N-word again. Squash this one time and make the world a better place, because I feel like whoever the powers that be are doing what they're doing right now are trying to make it like those movies we've watched.
Yes. Yeah. 100%. And you brought a thing that because I say this too, right? When you have the BBC and the BAFTA kind of throwing it under the rug like it was nothing, that goes to show me that with all the stuff erasing Black history and erasing, taking down our murals and trying to get rid of the Tuskegee Airmen's murals and stuff like that, just goes to show you that how important, first off, how important physical media is, right? Because if you get rid of physical media and you only have digital media can be altered and switched up to any narrative that you want it to be. You know what I mean? So that's why that's important. But when you see stuff like this and people throwing shit like this under the rug, like it doesn't mean anything, then it just goes to show you how much they really care about us, which they don't. But he said, Shiftigan said, everybody be losing their minds on claiming Kluger's X-File is race swapping Dana Scully because they cast a black woman. When we don't know who she's playing, and the full fledged exactly 100%. Brian is in the house. What's up, Brian? How you doing?
And then I'm feeling good. I was listening to you guys, your conversations, and it honestly just makes me. I wonder if you're right though about this, pushing us together. I'm not sure it does.
Go ahead.
Because you're talking about black and brown relations and all that stuff, and I still wonder if it does do this, or are we still too fractured? Because the reason I say is because I feel like we're more individualized now. It was a lot easier to be able to be together when you have a common enemy. Yeah. But then you also have to have that group mentality and understanding that what you're doing is good for the good of for all people. And I don't know if everyone's doing that right now. I still think they're still very individualistic in their own experiences, and I think that's the world that we've created. So, and I think that is by design. I think it's by design. I believe you create a world to separate everyone, to everyone think only about themselves. That way you don't have other groups trying to rise up and trying to become more than what they are. I think it's intentional.
Oh, 100%. Roberto, your thoughts?
I think it's slow. You have a valid point, but I think it's slowly happening. And Captain Orange has only been in charge now for half a year, a little longer than half a year. He still has a ways to go. And in that time of him going, he's going to lose some power, but strength's going to be gained on the other side. And it's only going to be done by unity.
Do you think he's going to lose power? Because
yes, I really feel like now he's going to lose it. And if he doesn't, man, all is lost, man. We're watching from the other side of the fence saying, good luck, brothers. Good luck, man. Man, this shit is made for TV. We'll be watching. We'll be watching. I pray for you, bro. I pray.
You see what he's doing, though. He's trying to get to a point where you change it from a democracy to oligarchy, or to a place where you can have not even just a king, but an emperor, or to that point. He's trying to create that type of government, and he's because he has his hand in every single thing. He's telling you who has to be a CEO of a company. He's telling you the way things are going to go from now on in your private business. He's telling you you can't hire these other people. He's telling you he's doing so much of the same stuff that we saw in the world saw in the 1930s. He's using that same playbook. And it's crazy. And no one's saying anything about what he's really doing. Because this playbook is straight out of, old dude in Germany. It's the same playbook.
Facts.
People are benefiting from it.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Like, so you can tell that, the people around him are 100% white supremacists, right? Mm-hmm. The amount of fucking, I'll say, delusion of these people who are just sitting on there saying, oh no, Trump is the best president ever and he's done more for black people than any president in the United States is an absolute fucking, I don't know where this thinking comes from. And it's worse when it's black people that are running around saying this crap.
But you think of this, how do you do this? Why do you do this thing? These things? Because if I give you individually something, you're more concerned about you
Yes.
than us.
Yeah,
And
100%.
how it affects everyone, and and how you belittling. He's making it okay for everyone to have their biases, and all the biases come out. And racism is not a two-way street. I just want to shout that out. Racism doesn't work unless you have power. So
Facts.
when you're calling someone black or brown racist, you're wrong. I'm just letting you know. You can be prejudiced, but that's not what racism is. Because if you don't have
100%.
power, that doesn't occur. I don't understand why people always say that or call someone else racist. You can't be fucking racist if you don't have the power over everyone. Without the oppression, it's literally in the damn name. So, like, I look at it and I think that the government has done such a great job, because what happened is you had movements when you knew you had a common enemy.
Mm-hmm.
So what they did is they separate you. They bring everyone, make you think about just yourself. And I think it's hard to try to bring that idea back because you're still only thinking about yourself.
You think the
And
Pope did that?
What?
You think the Pope did that? COVID?
I think that
COVID
they're
caused a
doing this.
shift, man. COVID caused a shift.
I think they've done this since the 1970s, since the civil rights movement really has been the way you broke it down. They did divide and conquer, divide and conquer, divide and conquer. And the way you do that is by saying, we're going to take all the best out of your community, right? And then we're going to tell everyone, you can reach this point too, right? So everyone says, forget us, I'm going to work for me.
individually.
And
Because
when you see individuals, because there's a lot of black individuals that can be rich. There are black individuals that could do a lot of these things individually. They're chosen.
mm-hmm.
But
and
you think that was an individual. Sorry.
And I just want to say this to your point real quick, because if you go back to the 70s and those things, right? We had communities, right? So if I lived, like, Roberto, we lived on a block with a bunch of black people. If you did something wrong and a neighbor seen you, they either have the right to correct you or they going straight to your parents and be like, yo, this and that. We don't have that anymore,
I
right?
got beat by my next door neighbor. His mama came out and whooped me.
Yeah, exactly.
That was real. That's what communities were. But do you not think that also? I mean, So what was the power of the civil rights movement? It really came from the church.
Mm-hmm.
The church is part of the community. The identity was from the church in itself. So what do? They separate you from the church. They tell you, it's not good to be make you more secular. Think about, once again, not about us, not think about what's right or what's about values or any of that stuff. They separate you from that. The value is the dollar.
Yeah, 100%. And it's funny you say that too, right? Because what's the best way to get those messages across? Through the music, right? Through rap music. That's exactly what it is. I'm sorry, but I grew up with the gangster rap. I loved all of it too, right? But when you really go back and think about it, it was a get yours and fuck everybody else mentality. Someone steps on your shit, we gonna fuck them up. My car is bigger than yours. Mine is this and bigger than that, right? But when hip hop, Big Daddy Kane, all those rappers, that era was more about unity, right? Yeah, of course you had your little rap battles and stuff like that, but dudes weren't killing each other over a rap battle back then. You get to the gangster rap stuff and it's been deadly. You know what I mean?
I want to agree 100% with you, but also think about it as, even look at gangs. Gangs used to be groups, and what they used to do, they still used to take care of their community.
Yes.
And it was problematic, but it still was us, whatever. Now it's not about gang; it's more about drug dealing, right? It's more about me individually. It's not about a group of people doing anything. It's stopping that and saying individually how they're doing this stuff. And I think in every way they've broken up the family, right? So the black family, the brown family, it's hard seeing people to stay together. So you break the family up, you break the groups up, you take church out of the community, you take values out of the community,
Yeah.
What's left? How do we fight
What
together? If we're not like this,
Trojan horse
how do we fight
mentality.
together?
was that, Roberto?
Like a Trojan horse mentality, man.
Yeah.
Systematically, ding, 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 ding. Wow.
And you know what's funny
And
too,
we
though?
said it. We said it, Anzo. Because in
Uh-huh.
the 80s, it was all about family.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What happened?
Mm-hmm.
What
Yes.
happened? What was the shift? When did they decide that, hey, we're going to go from all family to single moms,
Oh man,
Facts.
yeah,
gangster,
yeah.
and all of
Yeah.
this shit? And fucking highlight that stuff to send us in a different path. Because
You know,
your mom,
that's
if my
funny.
mom didn't know where I
Mm-hmm.
was,
Mm-hmm.
somebody at building's going to tell her,
Facts.
oh, yeah, we saw him in
100%.
the back running down. He was
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Anzo, and you know.
Uh-huh.
You,
Absolutely. You were gonna say, Brian?
you even think about the idea of the the queen, the ghetto queen who does all this stuff for because she has all these children and she's getting all this food stamps and all that stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
it's funny. And they put a face on it in the 90s, and it was a
Yeah.
black woman. But you know who the
100.
person who was doing that? Out in
White
Milwaukee?
people.
The white
Yeah.
people.
White.
That's what
Yeah.
it was. It was
100%.
100%. And they were doing it, and then they said it was you, and they put the
Mm-hmm.
face of you on it.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
It's
They do that
crazy.
a lot, because even now when Trump was getting rid of the food stamp stuff like that, right? Everybody was like, "Oh, black people, black people." But when you look at the stats, it's more white people on it than black people are.
And
Who
they
was
should
in
be,
the
because they're
scam?
a high
Who
percentage.
was in the
They're a high
scam?
percent.
Yeah, they're high percentage, right? But I'm just saying, it's like they make it seem like it's only black people that are going to suffer from this. You know
Uh-huh.
what I mean? And that's why the racists find it acceptable, because if it's okay to mess up black people, then, well, yeah, if one or two white people get caught up in the mix, it's okay. But we're doing whatever we can to hold black people down. And they've been doing stuff like that for centuries. And that's why it comes back to what the BBC did by just throwing this shit under the rug.
Yeah.
Because now it's like it's okay to do whatever you want to black people, and we'll just make up some sort of excuse for it.
Exactly, but you do it to any other group, it's a huge 5-alarm fire. So you
Yes.
can't do it to our group.
Mm-hmm.
It's something you said yesterday, and I didn't want to talk about it, but you said if it was LGBTQ community, they wouldn't allow it. And I wanted to ask you this: what's the difference between the LGBTQ community and the black community?
Nothing really, other than you know what I mean? We're both marginalized little groups, right? We're both considered, how can I say, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm looking for a right word. We're below the white supremacists, basically. You know what I mean?
What if I told you this, and I tell you that there is a difference between black community and the LGBTQ community?
Go ahead.
Can white men be black?
Absolutely not. Yeah, I
Men
get where you're going.
be part of the LGBTQ community.
I
So
get where you're
why do you think they allow the LGBTQ
Yeah.
community to have the power? Not that it's wrong, but they're only allowing it to be the higher minority and spotlighted because they can be part of it. It's
Yeah,
part of the system.
100%.
It still works within the system.
Yeah, 100%.
Because of this color, you can never. White men can never be this.
Agreed.
And that's just part of the. And I don't want to think it's not white individuals, because white individuals are great. They're good people out in the world. Great people out in the world.
Yes.
It's not that. It's the system itself. What I'm talking about. It is not people individually, and that's a huge thing. That I always want to talk about, because me and Tank talk about this a lot, and Tank is one of my best friends. I love him. That's just real. But
100%.
he understands.
Yes.
And he understands like that's just the way it is. And I'll say that the reason why they're having to, the idea of white is an early 1920s idea. They started including more and more people into the idea of what white is. White is a total man-made thought process.
Social structure. Yeah, 100%.
So they have to continue to add more groups into it because of fear. Because your fear is you lose power.
Yes.
And what's going to happen? I think you talked about that yesterday too. So what's going to happen when the minorities become no longer the minority, but they become the majority? Because of that fear, and that's what Donald Trump is running on, that fear. creating,
Absolutely.
inciting fear that these groups are going to take what you have.
Absolutely, 100%. Where white people are going to be the minority. And it's funny that you say that too, because I watched a TikTok video and I can't remember who it was, but they were like, the reason why white people are so scared is because they think if black people get into power or
We're going to
become
do the
the
same thing
majority,
what they do.
we're gonna do what they did to them. That's what scares them. You know what I mean? And we
It's
black
nothing
people,
further from the truth. We
we
don't
are
care
we
about
are so now granted we have our bad seeds, okay, so let's
100%.
and
Every
guys
group
I never
does.
understand it, yes,
Every
but
group does.
we are so welcoming when it comes to these type of things, right? You, for example, Beyonce did a country album, white people lost their minds, right? Eminem can come into rap and have black people
And we
saying
say,
he's the GOAT.
hey, he's the greatest of all time. He at least top 5.
You know what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah.
So that's the difference. So even though it's like their fear is their fear because they know what they have done. And it's like them being scared of all the stuff that they have done. It's like, oh, we've done all this stuff. So what are the chances that they're gonna do it to us? And it's just like it's just such a bullshit argument to where it's like you just racist. You just racist. You don't really
And
believe that.
I ask you guys a question though. And I've
100.
always, so do you think what's happening in this world, and this what I'm seeing is that it's coming less about race and more about socioeconomic status. So what's happening is the bottom or from the middle all the way down, they're losing more and more. The gap between rich and poor is coming higher and higher and more,
100%.
right? So now everyone's getting squeezed down. So the people that are supporting Trump, that we're talking about our fear, are the bottom of the barrel of what's going on because they're literally afraid of what they're going to lose what they have, not realizing the people that are taking from them are the people they're going for. Not the people that they're pointing at, the black, brown, all the people that you're talking about. They're not taking from them. That's not what's going on. The gap is widening, and it's the top that's taking.
Absolutely. 100%. I think we talked about this before, and I'll let Roberto respond first, but we talked about the middle class disappearing. Like, there's no middle class. It's going to be rich and poor. That's it. We're getting to the point where the middle class is like going to be extinct. And I tell my son this all the time. I'm like, listen, you need to be very careful because in 20 years, and I said 40, but I'm going to say even 20 years, maybe 10, this is going to be a totally different world. If you think it's $20 for one steak now,
Yeah.
what do you think that steak is going to cost in 10 years?
So we'll let that steak go, boy.
No, I can't do it, bro. I hate it. I hate it. I can't stand the fact that every time I go in there and see a steak for fucking $27, one T-bone steak, it drives me up a wall, man. I see, even when it's on sale, it's still like fucking $10. You know what I mean? For one steak. You got a family of fucking 5? You what? One person has a steak and the rest of them will have pork chops? You
But the
know, it's just
pork chops, you're lucky to have all that. That still costs a lot of money. And my point is even more that the highest 1% has gained 90 more percent than they had before. That's
yes,
crazy because they already were the top.
yes,
They've grabbed
100%.
90 more percent of all the wealth in the world.
And they want more. Roberto, go ahead.
Well, again, it's not something we haven't spoken about before, but it's right in front of our eyes. And in all reality, what could we even do about it?
That I think because I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, right. We can sit here and complain and we can talk about it. That's a good question. What do we do to fix it?
They know the answer to that.
They know, but they ain't shared it with us.
No, I think it's pretty obvious what it is.
Go ahead.
We have to come together.
Yes.
So because if they know we have to come together, what do? Seed more hate.
Cause divide, more divide.
Cause more of these problems, all this stuff. They cause us talking about it, showing this on TV. You think it's an accident. It is a plan. They
Absolutely.
feed into this social all these problems socially, and you're thinking about, look, this person next to me that I'm sharing with is the problem, instead of looking at who the real big brother, who the real problem really is. So they feed us this. This is why they do these things. This is why they choose these things.
And
Social
now
unrest is
that you
because of it.
And
Yeah,
now that you say that, it seems like their plan is working, right?
it's
Because
100%.
this thing is divided, right? You have people blaming the guy with Tourette's. You have people blaming the BBC, right? So whatever they did is working. Okay, now we have black people against people with diseases now. You know what I mean? And it's causing a divide, and everything in this world is to cause some sort of divide. And it's not just to say, because there are white people that are down with the cause too. So
100%.
they want them divided from us as well. That's why you'll always get this crap where people like to say, and they always come back with, well, per capita, 13% of the people are black, but they do 50% of the crime.
The
It
rules,
drives.
the whole rules, the whole system is designed for that.
Yes.
The laws are skewed in a way for people that are poor, or people that are trying to catch up, or trying to do whatever, trying to snatch something, are all push towards their rules being more dangerous. Even though, if you want to have laws that are equal, then you should do all things. Like the tax evasion should be the same thing. Or you should have a flat tax, and then you give everyone the same opportunity. But you don't want to do that because it
And
works.
and why is it that rich people are taxed way less than people who have no money whatsoever? Why is that? Right? Because they know that at the end of the day, these elites want to squash the poor. They don't, regardless of what you want to say, these rich people don't like poor people.
Oh, what
White poor people,
who
black poor
gets
people.
who gets taxed the most? The highest percentage are the people that are going from middle class to upper middle class.
Yeah,
You know why? Because they don't want
because they don't
more
want them
people.
there.
Yeah,
They
can I
don't
push
want
you
them
back
there.
down? Need you
Hmm.
have more? I'm going to tax 34%, 35%, 36%, 40% of people that are going to make between 120 to $250,000. Why?
Hmm.
Because I got to push them back down.
One
They can't be
hundred
starting to
percent.
come up here, because now the divide is not as much. If I let you come up, it's
And
crazy.
then you get reports of the billionaire Trump only paying like $340 or something like that in taxes
Hmm.
at the end of the year.
Hmm.
What? Now I get it. There's a lot of write-offs, right? And especially when you're a billionaire, you can write off a lot of things. But at the same time,
No,
yeah,
I
as a
promise you.
billionaire, yeah, as a billionaire, you shouldn't be able to do that because you can afford it, right? You can afford to fly in luxury planes, even if it's on a business trip. You shouldn't get to write that off.
That's what Dandelion is saying. Income is
Yeah,
taxed, wealth is not.
facts, 100%. We get into these comments too. She said, the wealthy have been trying to roll back advancements in equality since
Hoover. Yep.
Herbert Hubert put some social programs in place to get the U.S. out of the depression. 100%. Pits different unprivileged people puts different unprivileged people against each other, keeps them from seeing the real problem, which is wealth hoarders. Absolutely.
100%. That's it.
There should be no billionaires. No one needs that much money. What the fuck is Elon Musk going to do with $1 trillion? It isn't a goal that provides any value to society as a whole. Facts.
Yep.
100%. And you know what's funny too, now that you said that too? Because these billionaires could solve a lot of the world's problems.
Imagine if you did a flat tax of 30% for everyone, no matter what. You can't hide your prices. Listen to what Elon Musk did. He bought Twitter, not
Hmm.
with money,
Yeah.
with his stocks. But
Yeah.
you can't tax his stocks because it's not actualized money. But you're
Yeah.
able to purchase something with something that's not actualized money.
Yes.
So you can borrow against it. You could purchase something and borrow against it, but you're not getting taxed off of it.
Hmm.
How's that fair?
It's
But
not.
the person who only made $40,000, they have to give you know, $6,000 of that money,
arm and a leg to get,
which is
even if
crazy.
they're able to get the loan, right? You know what I mean? Because it's like, oh yeah, well, you don't have enough assets, so we're not going to give you this loan. And Elon Musk just has to go and say, hey, I'm a billionaire and I want this and that, I'll put this as collateral, and boom. And he has the money, he had the money to buy X straight up without doing that. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Dandelion said, they're even more scared of black women having any power.
That's true.
100%. 100%.
Honestly, you know what? As a black man, the only person I'm scared of is my wife, which is a black woman. Just being 100% real. I'll take another dude. We could go out in the street. We could deal with it. But my wife,
Facts. Facts. She said a general strike. You know what the problem with that is?
you don't
And I
have any
agree with
money.
you.
You don't have any
And
money.
and people, not everybody's gonna be down for that. You know what I mean? It's only going to work if everybody is down for it, right? So black people start saying, you know what, I'm only gonna support black businesses or this and that and that. You know what I mean? But you also have a lot of people out there like, why am I gonna do that? It's a little bit more expensive over here when I can go to white man and get it for $1 cheaper.
Because you're thinking about it as an individual,
Yes,
not thinking about it as a group, as an individual.
as an individual.
You have a very small percentage of us doing that, and
Mm-hmm.
a larger percentage not. It will take effect.
Agreed. Agreed. That's exactly, Roberto. But we need that larger percentage, right?
Well, it just
We
takes guys like us to start saying, let's do it, instead of, I wonder if they're doing it.
And I'm glad you said that because I know we talked about it before Brian was here, but that's where having good black leaders come into play, and we don't have any.
I was going to say, and have we had any?
Nope.
You know what's, and it's funny because I believe that was also something that the CIA has done. They intentionally tore down anyone who became a black leader. They found a way to find whatever their problem is, because every person has a problem. No one fall
Yep.
have sinned and come short of the glory of God. That's just whatever. Everyone has a problem. You could find something wrong with any person,
Mm-hmm.
and anytime they had one, they found it and they highlighted it, and then they owned them.
Absolutely. And that's the problem, right? So for one, like you said, if we have a good black leader, they're going to kill him, right? They've done that many times. And then if they can't kill him, they're going to convert them into doing their bidding.
Individualize them. Put the money in front. Put the carrot and the stick in front of them, and watch how they'll lead them astray.
And that is why you have a lot of these black conservatives, right, going on there saying things about black people is because the Republican Party pays a lot. They pay a lot to do. Candace Owens gets paid a lot. She got paid a lot from Daily Wire to shit on black people, right? So it makes it supposedly more valid when it's coming from us, right? Oh, look, the black people are saying it
Even
too.
you saying it. Yeah.
Yes, even you saying it. So if you can say it, I can do it. So Shifty Gism said, "There's a lot more to it than that with Beyonce. Pop has tried to overtake real country music for decades. It has more to do with that. It has more to do with that than racism. Cop country is annoying. So no, no, Shifty. It had to do with 100%. They did not want this black woman into because
My question is, what about what's her name?
go ahead.
What's her name? My God, the biggest artist in the world. What's her name?
Oh, the Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift does that, right?
Yeah.
And she made it all pop, right? But
Yeah.
do they hate on Taylor Swift? Do they take her out? Do they cry about Taylor Swift?
Mm-hmm.
Or do they buy their albums and support it?
Exactly. And I'm going to give you another example too, right? Go look at some of these artists that came out during, the peak of rap time. The white artists like Pink and Britney Spears and all these. They tried to get into like a hip hop kind of thing, and then especially Pink, when she was able to do her own thing, she went strictly away from hip hop.
Talking about Kid Rock.
Um, Kid Rock, yeah, Kid Rock.
We're a rapper.
MSK, not MSK,
Machine Gun Kelly.
Machine Gun Kelly, right?
Mhm.
He had that big track. He's going up against Eminem. Now, if you go listen to his music, you would have no idea he started off in hip hop. You would have no idea, right? Because they use what we do as popularity to get in the door. And then once they get in the door, they kick us to the curb. It's just like all of these stations. Fox was built off of black people.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And they had In Living Color. They had a lot of these smaller shows come to Fox, and then they switched it up. They switched it on everybody. But can I ask you
100%.
one other question? And I want to hear what you guys say. I'm just going to ask the question and hear what you guys have to say about it. Is racism just a distraction?
Ooh, I'm glad you said that. I'll let Roberto answer because I got to look for a video too. But and I got to go use the bathroom real quick. But Roberto, you answer first. Is racism a distraction? I'm glad you brought that up.
I would say it's more like a pin than a distraction. Like they're trying to pin you in wrestling.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's holding us down. We're squirming to get up, and they're just holding us down with enough pressure to give us some kind of hope that we can get up.
I don't.
I think if you look at all of these rich people, like supposedly on the pedophile island, they were hunting black people. I don't know if that's fake. I don't know if it's fiction, but when they make these movies with rich people trying to take black people's organs and blood, and I don't know if they're teasing us with that shit. Like it really goes on because this world is scary now, man. Like what I thought you couldn't even fathom is actually happening, and people aren't even acknowledging it.
Mm.
That's how scary this world is right now. And I don't care who I speak to. If you have a problem with it, that's your problem.
100%.
I'm expressing how I feel.
Yep.
And if it's my generation speaking, then my generation's all right. Your generation's if you're not on the same page.
And you know what I was gonna say too, because I don't know if you guys heard, right? But it was a video, and I wanted to talk about it, and I kind of forgot. And maybe we'll get onto it. But did you hear that the Russians were tricking black people to go fight for them, right? And when they got there, they were totally like disrespecting and making them go on the front lines and everything. It was crazy. So when you ask if it's a distraction, I don't. I could see it being a distraction, but I also see it as these white supremacists feeling like everything is okay to be racist now because you have a racist president.
Mm.
That's
Okay.
how I feel. You know what I mean? Go ahead. What are your thoughts on it, though?
I think it's a tool.
Okay.
I think racism is just a tool. Has nothing to do. They don't care about the people that it hurts. They don't care about the people that are part of it, that is benefiting or anything. I don't think they care about any of it. I think it's just a tool to allow, once again, the rich to get richer and the powerful to stay in power. And what they pull on different levers to make sure the machine keeps on going. So anytime something else is happening and someone's starting to push people together, one of these things happen.
I could see that.
I mean, after Obama, has a lot of has some good things and bad things, no matter what. But afterwards, what do you do? You send the police after after people. It's more of, they're doing it, and it's true, it's real, but it's a distraction to keep you away from doing the things you want to do, or the things that you should be doing. Coming together, figuring out why the power and the money and the wealth is so distorted. I think it's just a tool overall.
You know what? I could see it being a tool 100%. And again, using it to divide people. But when you brought that up, this video came to mind. and I definitely don't agree with it. But I want to hear what you guys have to think about it. What say about it?
At some point, you liberals are going to have to admit that racism doesn't exist in this country anymore.
It says you
In
liberals.
fact,
I
true racism
lost my
hasn't
mind.
existed since 1865. That's right. Black people have been equal in this country for over 160 years. Don't laugh. If I don't, I'll cry. Equal. So the Civil Rights Act of 1964? So you said 160 years? 60. Black people have been equal for over 60 years. No racism. So because slavery is illegal and because we have civil rights, that means there's no racism? Exactly. Because of legislation, generations of systemic oppression, hatred, and racism disappeared overnight. Okay. Do you believe in the Second Amendment? Hell yeah. Do you own any guns? Oh, come on. You know I've shot at you at least twice. Yes, I remember. I'm not going to walk around in a hoodie in my neighborhood. Whatever. Listen, if tomorrow guns were illegal, would you give up your guns? Give up my guns? Yeah, if they made a law and the Second Amendment didn't exist anymore, would you give up all your guns? like my registered guns or all my guns? All of them, every single gun. Hell no, what kind of question is that? I'm saying the government comes to take all your guns. Are you giving them all your guns? Sure, I'll give them all my guns. Right, because guns mean something to you. They're part of your identity, and you're not going to just give up your identity just because something's illegal now. I'm not just going to give up my guns. Right, and then when you die, you'll probably pass on your guns to your kids, and they'll mean something to them, and then they'll pass them on to their kids, right? Of course, some values you have to pass on for generations. Exactly, and do you think other gun owners feel the same way? All the real gun owners, not the gay ones who just turn their guns in because they agree that gun violence is a problem in this country. Right, and how would the real gun owners keep gun culture alive in this climate where owning a gun is illegal by law? Well, we wouldn't flaunt our guns out in public, if that's what you're thinking. We would probably keep them hidden and maybe form secret societies where we would talk about how our culture is greater than any other culture. And then, we would probably elect officials who agreed with us because we'd have like little code words so we could identify each other. And then eventually we would have a really strong leader who would say, hey, it's okay to have your guns out in public again. And oh my God, you got there. Go put on your hoodie.
You know what? I didn't watch the whole video. I watched just the beginning of it, and I turned it off. Like when Roberto said the liberal stuff and all that stuff at the beginning, I was like, okay, no, this is gonna something I'm talking about. I didn't realize what he was doing towards the end of it, but absolutely 100%. That's exactly how they think. You know what I mean? That's exactly how they think. So I think that was an absolutely great video to watch when we talk about those certain things, and again, at the end of the day, it does come down to the fact that, and I think when we talked about the civil rights movements and all of those stuff like that, white women benefited from that.
100%.
You know what I mean?
Civil rights wasn't going to happen unless the women's rights movement was along with it.
Along with that, 100%. She said, same with all those silly rappers, those silly ass rappers from the 90s that tried to get in. Heck, even M's annoyed me sometimes with his occasional cornball stuff. Yeah, me too. Like when M first came out, I hated like the real Slim Shady. I hated those songs and stuff like that. But I'm not gonna say he's one of the best, but we let him in. We let Third Base in. We let Everlast in. It was never any arguments about, you know what I mean? Oh, these white people can't be coming into our spaces. But when you heard Beyonce trying to do this, not just Beyonce, Little Nas X with his country song and everything, they didn't like that. They don't like us in their lane, right? So Mike said, "What's up, fellas? What's up, Mike? How you doing?" Said flat tax disproportionately affects the lowest income people.
Not
Um,
so,
Go ahead.
and the answer is yes, because but you can lower the actual flat tax. So if I told you that we're going to take 10% of everyone's income, So a flat tax does it at 30%. It hurts. If I took 10% of everyone's income, and I'm going to start making social things that are going to help everyone at the bottom become more middle class, and we're gonna raise the floor. So now the level of everyone has a house, everyone has food, everyone has clothes, because we're going to take 10%. And what's 10% of the 90% of the wealth? What is 10% of $10 billion? So yes, you can do it if you get all the 10%.
100%. And 10% from poor people is totally different than 10% from black rich people. You know what I mean? So they still playing a lot more. So personally, I think this is a psyop designed to distract and keep people fighting against each other. I could
100%.
definitely see that 100%, Mike. He said, look what the Canadian boycott of the U.S. products has done. Some bourbon products in Kentucky may go out of business. Tourism in Vegas is down 15 or 20 percent. Don't need everyone, just need enough people. Okay, I agree with that too.
I don't know if just the
Right?
Canadian boycott. I also think is that America itself is, people are afraid to do anything. So now your immigrants are afraid to go out to anywhere and spend anything or do anything because you have ICE all around, right? You have other people from every country, not just Canada, but from
Yeah.
people in your all tourism has gone down
Yeah.
in the United States. Nobody wants to come over here, knowing all the stuff that's going on. No one wants to be over here. Everyone in every other country I know are looking at us like, how the hell you let this dude Trump continue to do these things, right? So
Facts.
I literally think it's tourism
They
everywhere.
blame you.
Hey, you can't blame me. I sure I voted the right way, but you know what?
Listen,
When we were at the polls, I remember looking at the polls, and there are other people. There's white people that like we're cool with. We're walking around like, hey, who'd you vote for? They were like this.
you know, but you know what's funny to that though? Because I remember when Trump was, going to be, running for president again, me and Roberto sat on this show and said, if you guys elect this guy again, you really have to have your mentality checked. And sure enough,
And you deserve what you get.
facts.
You
Because
know,
he let us know.
he's exactly who he said he is.
Yes.
He's
Yes.
doing exactly what he said he's
100%.
going to do. You know, and it's terrible, but and you know what? A lot of Americans, I will tell you, that have talked about leaving, but it's real comfortable here.
Yeah, I know. You see,
And once again,
bullshit.
individually,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
one wants to take that. We won't do this. We're not going to stay here. We're not going to stand for this. We know what's right. Yeah, we don't leave.
Yeah, that's the bullshit, right? You hear a lot of people say, "Oh, Trump gets elected again, we're leaving." No, the fuck you're not,
Yeah,
because where other country, wherever where you get the opportunities you get in America, you don't. You just don't. No, UK, Canada, none of these places have the same opportunity. You have an amount of money. Now, of course, when we
you
say
can
this
leave,
again,
but you're not going to start over. That's the
yeah,
issue. No one's going.
exactly.
You can leave and do stuff, but no, who the hell's going to start over and go somewhere else? No one wants to start over.
100%. 100%. Said I love how the expos had variety. Thanks from Stacy. Oh, thank you, Stacy. Appreciate it. Then she said,
Give his big
excuse
head
me,
up. Yeah, give him more of a big
Anzo,
head. Come on.
Emperor is so cool. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You damn Skippy, I'm cool. I'm
No,
just a mocha cool, smooth brother, man. It is what it
please
is,
don't do this. Come on, Stacy. Don't do this to him. Don't do this.
Here we go.
The U.S. has lost billions of dollars from Canada refusing to play Trump's silly games. Yeah, but it's not just Canada, though. I get it
Everybody.
100%, but it's everybody right now. And like Brian said, the rest of the world looks at what's going on in America and is like, what the fuck is
Yeah,
going
like
on
y'all
over there?
stupid as hell.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
know
yeah,
they're thinking
100%.
that, and they're right.
Yeah, agreed. He said, "No, I live in the South. Even white people trying to pop up country is annoying. Yes, people hate on Swift when she went pop. She didn't even bother with a tribute to the guy that got her started. Yeah, 100%, one
Once
hundred
again,
percent.
individualism. That's what
Mhm.
America teaches you. That is the idea of the American dream is not about All of us rising up. That is not the American dream. That is not something they've ever told you is the American dream. The American dream is only one thing. You
Absolutely.
making your family better.
Money,
You.
exactly. Pop infiltrating country has been an issue since the 70s. It's even worse now as mainstream rock has become dead since the early 2000s. The industry is determined to make everything sound the same. Agreed. I don't disagree with that. Music today is like even R&B. I listen to R&B nowadays, and it's just not the same as the old school R&Bs that we used to listen to,
You
bro.
see that? We lived in the best time ever. Like,
Yes.
go through all the groups that came out from 90 to 92.
Yes.
There's a 5-year gap from 88 to about 93 where all the greatest artists in our generation that in any generation came out. You start looking at all the groups, all the R&B singers, from Whitney to you go
Mm-hmm.
groups. You say Jodeci, Boys to Men, Mariah Carey. You go into rap. You could go into grunge. If you want to go into Seattle, Smell Like Teen Spirit. You could everything you want to go to. All the greatest people that in all music, all genres came out in like a 5-year period.
100%.
And
100%.
but now what happened? So they take away your creativity. They take away the idea that you're gonna have different type of music, playing off each other. Red Hot Chili Peppers came at the same time. So it's like all that went away.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and in some aspects, I agree with you, Shifty. I think that they have taken away what it is to be, this type of music, this type of culture for everybody. Because rap sucks, R&B sucks, country might suck, pop is popping because that's all you got.
Yep. I sent you the link, Mike. Check your inbox there. He said Jesse Lee Peterson. Oh my god, I cannot stand this coon. You know who that is, Roberto?
Who?
Jesse Lee Peterson. I think we showed something on him as a black guy, and he is a disgrace to black people.
He's on the other side.
Yeah. He's a disgrace to black people. Not only is he a disgrace to black people, I think he's doing it for money, which is even worse.
Just that. It's also the worst thing. Worst part is that he's like a minister.
Is
So he's
he?
taking all the things. Yes, he's like a Christian minister. He's not in a black church, but he's a Christian minister. So
I
like
didn't know
it's
that.
literally everything that you take that was positive about what civil rights leaders were, and you turn it around. He's the worst of all of it.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
We have a picture.
America. What's that?
We have a picture of this guy.
Yeah, I'll bring it up. I'll bring something up. Just give me a second. I mean, it's not hard to find anything because the shit that this guy. Let me see if I can find the clip. Some. I'm gonna try and find something that shows how stupid he is.
He is the worst. And then as a commentator, he is literally the worst.
Okay, hold on. We'll play this one. I never seen this.
Chubby guy.
What's that?
Is he chubby?
No, not chubby.
He's
This,
I don't know. Yeah, like that's him. Oh, I forgot.
That's him.
this,
Yes,
yeah,
he
that's
is.
him.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's okay. Well, you're gonna learn today. Listen.
Getting the same rights as whites.
What rights I didn't get?
You tell me you lived it.
I got everything I wanted.
Okay, so could you go sit at a counter
Anytime I wanted to sit at a counter, I sat at a counter.
with white?
If white was there, I did. If they were not, I didn't.
Or was this after,
No, this was way before the Civil Rights Movement.
was this after segregation or desegregation?
It was before segregation happened.
So you're telling me, no, there was segregation, right?
Right.
White here, black there,
Right.
correct?
Right.
So you could go to a counter where it said white only and sit there.
I never went to one. Not because I didn't want to, I went to the black ones. That's where I wanted to be.
Okay.
I never thought about going to one or not, but whenever I did go to one, I had no problem. But what do you
Come
mean?
on, in Alabama.
And that's a little bit tame for that one. But yeah,
No,
he's
listen,
one of those.
that's stupid.
Oh yeah, 100% stupid. Yeah, he's an idiot. He's a damn idiot.
Sounds like a recovering drug addict.
He could be, to be honest with you. Let me see if I can find something else. It's just if you go and like you'll see him pop up, like, bro, it's just some of the crap that he likes to say, you know, oh, he calls people gay and black people are always racist and stuff like that. It's just a
We're
crazy.
racist.
Yeah, we're the racist ones. Yeah, 100%. He's
Just
an
type
idiot.
in Jesse Lee Peterson worst takes, and you'll see some of the worst things that he's ever seen. And like, it is.
Okay, that's it.
I'm just letting you guys know.
Let's see if we can find
Every
it.
time I see him, I think I should say, "Hey, you dropped your hood. Pick it up."
Facts. Facts, 100%.
I don't like these guys that fuel me up.
Let me see what we got here. Okay, yeah. So and it's good too because you like Godfrey, right, Roberto?
Yeah.
All right. I'm not gonna show the whole thing because it's like a 16-minute video, but here.
What, God Lozano?
Yeah.
Is it true that that you call black women queens?
Well, I don't use queens. I just stand up for them. They are queens, obviously, but I'm
but you don't call them queens.
I don't go queens all the time. I don't use the term queens.
Oh,
but
good.
I revere them as that because they are queens.
What queen? What does that mean to be a queen?
A queen, not this. It's like a royal thing. It's like a respect thing because they should be treated like they should put them on a throne because we need to show more respect for them because black men have been we've been pretty unloyal to them. As far as like political, as far as emotionally, as far as they've always been by our side no matter what we've been through. Black women have always stood up for us.
Wait for
it.
And
I'm just saying we should
you're
sometimes
saying
take a
that
stand
black
for them.
women should be put on a throne?
Sure.
And why?
Because every other woman is.
Why don't you call them queens then if you believe that they should be put on a throne?
Queens, because I like to just say, I just like to show them my respect through my actions. And it's the same as calling them queens because I treat them that way.
Amazing.
Uh-huh.
And you said you should treat them that way because all other women are treated that way?
Yeah, we looked up to white women. We Latin
you put
women,
white women on a throne?
No, I said a lot of black men.
Do you put white women on a throne?
No, I do not. Because they'll call the police on you. White women are Decepticons.
And so
53% of them
so
voted
who
for
would
Trump.
put white women on a throne?
The society does.
How's that?
Well, you look at advertising. There's always white women advertising for makeup, as if they're always the standard of beauty, and so all these other ethnic women always try to be like them, try to have their standard of beauty be like them, and that's not fair. You understand? That's why Asian women are running to try to be white women. Latin women try to be running to be white women, and black women. Some of them, want to have the same because black men actually, percentage-wise, always, praise other women.
What do you?
A lot of times.
So
I'm not saying every black man does that, but it's usually the case.
So do black men put white women and other women on
a lot
the throne?
of times, yeah.
That's
I didn't say every black.
What
situation that they're in?
How did they get on
and
the same
angry
platform?
and
Who is this guy?
black mothers who have put the black men, boys and girls, and now adult men and women in the situation that they're in.
What situation?
He is he's a YouTuber though.
This is a big problem what he's about to say. I've seen this video.
You seen this one?
Not good.
He talks about black women. Yeah.
Yes, he does. He talks about black mothers and he blames them.
It's the black women, black mothers who have put the
Let's go back here.
Because our mothers, our aunties, our grandmothers have done so much for us, and black women have taken the burden of everything in society.
But it's
they're treated, and they're the lowest ranked as far as beauty, which is not the truth.
It's the black women, black mothers who have put the black men, boys and girls, and now adult men and women in the situation that they're in.
What situation that they're in?
Weak and angry and insecure. And
no, that's no. There's a lot of amazing black people that have had strong black mothers, and the reason why
no such thing.
Yeah.
I remember he said that. And that's what he said no such thing as a strong black mother.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I couldn't be Godfrey. I would strangle the shit out of him right there. I'm like, what did you say? I would slap him. Apologize. Apologize. Like, man, that was.
If you're still there, Mike, I sent you the link. I know you said you wanted to come and ask a question. He said Jesse Lee Pierce was trying to come down on Jasmine Crockett. Yeah, he's the actual definition of a 100% coon. 100% coon is this guy.
He's Uncle Ruckus.
Yes, and again, at some point, I'm like, does he really believe the shit he says? Right? Or is he just doing it because, again, and this is why shows like this and what the Spoiler Kings do is so important, because we keep it real, right? You're never going to sit on here and ask if we're doing it for clicks or we're doing it for money, right? But when you listen to people like this, the Brandon Tatums, the Candace Owens, all of these people, you really question yourself and like, are you really believing this, or are you doing it because you know that's the narrative, that's the lane that's going to make you the most money?
I think a lot of it also has to do with the fact that they hate their blackness.
That too. I can believe that too.
Themselves, and they love what other groups have for them, and they look at them and they say, I hate, why do I have to be this? So they hate on everything that is black, and not realizing that, once again, we're not monolithic. That's my number one thing. Black people are not just one thing. You know, so there are some good black people, there are some bad black people, and there's everything in between.
Absolutely,
100%. We're not one thing, but what you see on TV, what you see in movies, is always one thing. It's all the same thing,
and it's always, you know, the narrative that they try to put against us. And Roberto had this video that he brought up, and I wanted to play because it kind of goes into what we're saying, right? Where I'm like, you know, us as black people, we are too kind, and I want you guys to listen to this. No sound. Where's the sound? Hold on. Okay, there we go. There's the sound. All right, let's do this.
Dang, slavery was so bad. I don't even know how the fuck we still cool white people right now.
You know, I'm probably the least qualified person to talk about this shit, but most people might look at what he said and think, oh my god, why is he mad about something that happened 200 years ago, dude? Get over it. The truth is, it's not actually about 200 years ago. It's about what never healed. Most people might look at the video that he made and say, oh my god, slavery ended almost 2 centuries ago. Why are people still angry? Here's the truth, dog, okay? Trauma does not disappear just because the calendar moves. Trauma gets passed down in families the same way eye color and height does. A grandma teaches her son how to survive in a world that treated her like she was less than human. That son teaches his child. The fear, the resentment, the distrust, it becomes culture when society never truly fixed the root. This is the truth, okay? White families, broadly speaking, get to pass down land, wealth, property, business, safety. Black families, again, broadly speaking, pass down survival skills, trauma, how to avoid getting killed by the police talks, pain, distrust. That's not 200 years ago. That's yesterday for them. That's yesterday for them. You understand? Bro, to be honest, and I could be wrong about this, I feel like the anger is not really about white people. It's about the system. Most black people don't actually hate individual white people. What they resent is the system that benefited white people, disadvantaged black people, and never fully corrected the imbalance. Put it like this, right? It's like if someone robbed your family for 10 generations and then said, let's forget about it, it's in the past. Meanwhile, they're still living in the house that they stole. That's what it feels like. The other thing too, bro, is that America never apologized, healed, or repaired. The trauma wasn't just slavery. It was 100 years of legal segregation, banning black people from schools, jobs, neighborhoods, restaurants, public areas, banning interracial marriage, lynching, redlining, which for those of you that don't know, it pretty much means blocking wealth, mass incarceration, police brutality, and pretending it's a history issue instead of a current structure that manifested in different ways in modern times. White immigrants came to America and got loans, neighborhoods, business assistance. You know what black Americans got? Good luck.
Mm-hmm. It's the system. I do believe it's the system. Just like we were talking about BAFTA, I don't blame a person. I blame the system. I blame the people in power that are putting their things in. They're doing this on purpose. This is all intentional. All this stuff is intentional.
Absolutely. Mike is in the house. What's up, Mike? How you doing, brother?
What up?
What's up, fellas?
Doing good, man. Thanks for popping in. Much appreciated.
What's
that?
This guy got 1 million hits.
Yeah, you can see it there. 1 million hearts over there. But you know what? No lies detected there.
Mm-hmm.
No lies detected in that video whatsoever. I don't even know who he is, bro.
I'll give him in his 20s.
I think he sounds like someone out of college that has some education.
You know,
absolutely.
And he's spitting knowledge.
Absolutely.
And I find if you haven't noticed the I'll call it the rhetoric as of late, a lot of white people are calling out white people. If you haven't noticed.
But that has always been that way. There's always been good white people.
It's more and more and more. Because I think of the situation.
I was just about to say that because of the situation, I think a lot more white people are standing up, and we've had even in our show, we've had a lot of white people came in here that, agreed with what we're saying. And then we had one last night that kind of went a little bit over the rails a little bit, where I think he needs to do a little bit more education on both sides and not just follow the one side that he's been following. You know what I mean?
It's like he's actually Brazilian.
Yeah. So he doesn't really, you know what I mean? But Mike, you said you had a question and a comment. You want to talk? Go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say. Oh wait, did Mike just disappear?
Yeah, all of a sudden the connection went offline.
Oh, okay, maybe he'll pop back in. Mike, if you're there, pop back in. But yeah, so it's funny because America right now is having, and I think it's another divide that is really stupid, where it's the FBAs and tethers, right? So they're calling immigrant black people or whatever, they call them tethers. FBAs are foundational black Americans, right? So the black Americans that lived in America weren't brought over, stuff like that, or just help build America. You know what I mean? Not exactly sure the full context of the FBA stuff, but it's just another divide. You know what I mean? Like, why are we going at our own people, regardless of whether they came from Africa and they come to America? Now I get it. Some of them come and they turn up their noses, but that's not the majority, right? That's the minority. It's not the majority, right? There's a minority that will come in there and say, oh yeah, black Americans are lazy and stuff like that. So I get that. But again, what Brian always says is not being a monolith. When you start talking about so-called tethers, you talk about them in a general way, like every one of them is like that. And that's just not the case. It's just not the case.
I agree. Here's another thing. All right, so you talked about America's never apologized, and so America has given reparations to a lot of people. Can you
100%?
You name the people that they've given reparations to?
I think the Jewish people got it, and I think some Asians got it, from what I recall. Yeah,
I'm going to read you. I think there's about 10 groups, but I'm going to read just a couple of them. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Japanese Americans in 1988 got $20,000 each in apology to about 60,000 Japanese American from the internment camps that they had. There's about 1.2 to 1.5 billion dollars that happened in 1988. All right. Alouettes residents, approximately 450 Alouettes Unagan received $12,000 each in apology for an internment in World War II.
Mm-hmm.
Native American tribes in 1946, the Indian Claims Commission Act resulted in $1.3 billion awarded to over 170 tribes for stolen land. In 1980, the Supreme Court awarded another $122 million to the Sioux Nation for the illegal seizure of the Black Hills. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the survivors of the Tuskegee syphilis studies got compensation and apologies. Only survivors, not the people that died. And historical slave owners.
Wow.
Under the Compensated Emancipation Act of 1862,
That's
the U.S.
right.
government paid slave owners in Washington, D.C. up to $300 each for enslaved persons freed.
100%. Yes, that is correct.
Those are the people that have gotten reparations from the government.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they say the government can't afford to give reparations, but they gave them all these other people.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know how much money $300 is per slave in 1862?
Facts.
Can
Facts.
you imagine? And what that money will be today?
Facts. But we can't give it to Black people, right? Who help build the country, right? Who help do all of this labor, the railroads, all of that shit. Never got paid for it. But it's okay. We
farmed all the
can't afford
land,
to give them. Yes,
all the food, all the everything you had, all the wealth that you accumulated, all the land that you had that was taken care of. But you can't do that, and that's
Facts.
crazy.
Facts, 100%. And listen, hey man, I got a couple of good American friends, so I wouldn't mind if you guys got your reparations, because I know you're gonna peel some off of your homeboy Big Ford Entertainment. You know what I'm saying? So that's Brian, that's Donnie, that's Tank. You guys well, not Tank.
I'll tell you, he don't get it.
Yeah, you don't get it. Well, he might if they're given to slave owners. You know what I mean? Maybe they go back. Be like, oh, you know what? Your family didn't really get any funds for, owning some Black people. No, I'm joking, Tank. I'm messing with you. But
it's crazy that they paid all the slave owners, but didn't pay the slaves.
100%. And they never will.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They never will. And you know what's funny, too? Because we talk about Trump, right? And we talk about Kamala, and we talk about, maybe the mistakes that she made. But she was on record saying that she was for reparations.
And that's when they said, oh, we can't do this. We got to get her out of here.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so she's on record saying she was for reparations. But at the same time, the narrative that they spun, and they did an amazing job of saying, well, she's not Black, she's not Black, she's not Black, she's this and she's that and she's not Black. That narrative worked. 100% worked, because there were a lot of people, Black people, saying, oh, I'm not voting for Kamala Harris, she's not Black, talking about something about cooking chitlins in the kitchen sink or whatever, or washing them in the tub or something like that. Oh, she's not Black because of that, right? And I'm just like, man, her father is a Jamaican man. She's Black. You know what I'm saying? She's Black, 100%.
If you guys get a chance ever, Harvard is one of the greatest, universities in all of America, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's unbelievable. They have there was an article written, I think, in 2022, Harvard Kennedy School, talking about the United States pays reparations every day to a Black America.
Facts.
Crazy.
100%. 100%.
You look at it, everyone else got reparations except for Black Americans. It's craziness.
100%. Roberto, what are your thoughts?
Again, I don't want to sound repetitive, but it is what it is.
And, all right, Mike is back.
You are right, though. It is what it is.
Mike, you're back.
Forever.
What's that?
We could have this conversation forever. It just seems that, I don't know what's going to come first. We're going to get ours or peace in the Middle East.
Ooh. I'll probably go with peace in the middle.
That's you guys there, right?
No. I was going to say the world will blow up
before either one of those happen.
Before either one, yes.
What's up, Mike? You're here. What are your thoughts? Can you hear me, Mike? Ooh, I guess Mike is having.
Okay, hold on. No, there.
There it is.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh
Yeah, there
my
you go.
God. I feel like such a noob.
It's
Okay.
okay. It's a bootleg StreamYard. You're good.
I have never seen this before. Like, I don't even know what's. I'm just gonna hit talk, and that's it. I'm not touching anything else. Okay. So the thing that I don't understand, and it doesn't make sense to me,
Mm-hmm.
is the N word, and I will
Mm-hmm.
tell you why.
Mhm.
Because this word has a history of being used in very hurtful, very derogatory situations. And I don't understand the thought. And I'd like to know what the origin, what the genesis of this thought was to continue using a word that has that. And then you say, oh, well, you know what? You just add an A to the end and it's good because, words regardless, like I could come up in and be like, hey, what's up, motherfuckers? Like when I say that, I have love for you guys because I talk to you and we're like that. But if I
Mm-hmm.
said that to somebody that I don't know, they're gonna be like, did he just call me a motherfucker? Like it all depends. So I understand where that happens, but if you continue to use it, and I mean, Chill said something like this too about the word being used, like with that dude, the guy with the Tourette's and all that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. To me, it's just like if I was short and people walked up to me, "Hey, what's up, short?" and I would, even if they decided to put something at the end or a qualifier or whatever it was, it's still going to hurt because that's something that's hurt me for my entire life. It's not going to
100.
go away depending on, oh, a midget called me that, or
Mm-hmm.
someone who's vertically challenged, like said, like it's still there. The foundation is still there. I don't know why, like back in the day, LL Cool J, Run DMC, it wasn't like nigga this, nigga that. It was just like it. I don't know where and like people today, I don't necessarily trust some of these people to be like Common or to be like De La Soul or something where they're trying to advance the culture. I think it was Shifty mentioned something about culture vultures. I think people like your favorite rapper, Anzo, Sexy Red, they're culture vultures too, because they're
100%.
just utilizing that to, and also I don't think that just not to utilize it to elevate or whatever, but to elevate themselves, but to bring the culture, to bring the notion of black culture down. And I don't know why this continues to happen. The only thing I could think of is, again, as I mentioned and as you guys were talking about, it's distraction. This is the plan. This is what you do. You have people like, remember that in the Chappelle show they had that skit with Clayton Bigsby, and they were driving by and there were these white kids playing the music really loud, and he leans out the window. He's like, turn your music down, and he's like, did he just call us? And they were happy about that. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
how the youth today, because of the way it is, some of them, because the way it is in popular music and stuff like that, they don't see, and they might not have, I mean, with history being erased, as we're
Mm-hmm.
talking, I mean, who knows what's being erased now, but as they're talking, they might not see, or they might not have that attachment to it being such a hurtful, derogatory word. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't,
100.
it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't get that. Like, it should be eradicated. The word shouldn't be used anymore, because then the people that use the word are the ones that are going to be hatred, regardless of how they conjugate it, because like nobody walks around calling like, hey, what's up, spick? Like, they don't do that to me. I don't even know if Puerto Ricans do that, because I mean, I'm over here instead of not on Puerto Rico, but like, I that logic to me doesn't make sense. If it's something that shouldn't be used, if it's something that has hurtful connotations to it, if it just the history of the word alone, stop using it. Like, regardless, like, oh, okay, we can say it, but these people can't, or something like that. Like, how well, you don't know how Wait, you might know how Americans are, on. So like, if you say don't do something, they're gonna be like, yeah, okay, you know what, maybe we should do it. No, they're gonna say, yeah, we should do it, and they're gonna double down and triple
Yeah,
down,
yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
it just keeps. I don't know. So that's the thing I don't understand. And with this dude, like everybody, like, this is the other thing too. I do know that Delroy said that BAFTA didn't come and speak to them, but everybody's demanding that the dude, the one with the affliction, said apologize to them, and he's right. They're right, but it doesn't necessarily need to be like it's almost like everybody's demanding a pound of flesh. Like, why does it have to be why do you need to know that this dude apologized? There's only 3 people that it concerns: the dude that said it, Delroy, and Michael B. Jordan, and that's it.
So I agree with everything you said, Mike, except for to that, because I think that saying the word and anyone who watches it is seeing it being said. Everyone that watches it is also affected by it, and the apology should be public for just that. But he's not the blame. Like you apologize for, hey, look, I did something. I'm wrong. I shouldn't do this, and I know it could hurt a lot of people to see this on TV and hear this on TV happen. I am sorry, and that's it, and that should be the end of it, because it's BAFTA's the problem. It's the BBC that's the problem. It's not this man. It's them. But once it's a distraction, and you don't want to look at the people who really caused it. It's a 2-hour tape delay, and you chose to not take that out. 2 hours.
Now, see, I think this is me with the I didn't know they had cut out the Free Palestine thing that one of the directors said.
There you go. Yeah.
But the other thing is that, though, in my mind, I could see that if they cut this, and even now, I mean, look at the Free Palestine thing that happened. If they cut that whole interaction,
no one's going to talk about it.
Well, yeah, no, but if it comes out and somebody says, "Hey, wasn't there? You guys didn't know about that moment where the N-word was said while Michael and Delroy?" Then it'd be like, "Oh, well, why are they cut?" Like, again, they're censoring it. So I could understand on one aspect, like playing devil's advocate, why they left it in there. But like when you leave that in there and you take out the Free Palestine thing, like it's just. It's all sus. And these days, and Ryan, you know this, like where we are right now, like they're telling us that we're not seeing things that we're seeing. Like it's like I side-eye everything because, and I try to approach it with my logic at least, like with this whole, and actually, did you guys talk about the whole Dakota thing with the milestone comment and all that stuff?
I got it right in front of me, man. And then all the stuff that's going on right now, oh my God.
But see, we could get into that, but
Lord, Mike.
the thing, it's just I don't know if the word is hurtful, nobody should be using it. No, you shouldn't try to reclaim. Like there's some people that shouldn't be rehabilitated, and there's some words that shouldn't be like repurposed or whatever.
And I read one thing because he just said that. I thought that this is important. It kind of goes with him. Semantic explanation of slurs typically prioritize their semantic representation while neglecting their histories. Similarly, historical accounts mention the sociological phenomena associated with the N-word versus the N-I-G-G-A word versus the N-I-G-G-E-R word without formal explanation of their semantic representation. I hope to understand that everyone to show that there's a holistic understanding that both words need to be shed, and they have a shared origin, and they have a shared history. So there's a shared pain.
100%. And even Negro. I don't even like Negro. I don't like that either. You know what I mean? It sounds like you're trying to be politically correct or racist. You know what I mean? You don't want to say the N-word, so you say, yeah, these Negroes. I don't like that word either. But I'm going to go back to a point Mike said where you were talking about, you said Sexy Red, and you're talking about it being a distraction, right? And I go back to saying, again, with the N-word and stuff, the music industry has pushed this, and there's narratives that have pushed this. Have you guys seen the name for her lip glosses?
Oh, boy.
No.
Only imagine.
Okay. Watch this shit. This is the lip gloss product that she put out there. Now, remember, Sexy Red caters to black people, and she is trash, and they push this girl out here so much, and this is what she's doing. Check this out.
So Sexy Red launched her lip gloss collection not so long ago, and the rapper decided to give the people a tutorial on how to use her products, and also explain the reason behind the names of these products.
Let's go back there, because this is a pretty much video.
Motherfucker? Really?
Sex on my period. Blue balls. Pussy hole pink. Booty hole brown. coochie juice, yellow discharge, nut, and gonorrhea. Those are the names of her fucking lip gloss.
That's wild. That's wild.
I don't even know what to say about that, man.
How 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 would a store, like, what stores are selling?
That's what I'm saying. Who's going to represent that?
Hey Tamika, how you doing?
Hey,
You
Tamika.
you walking into a store and say, "Hey, can I get that gonorrhea, please?" What?
Oh my god.
This is the problem that I have, and that's why I say they push these narratives. Nope, she doesn't cater to me. Exactly. She doesn't cater to none of us, right? But they push her and they let her get away with this outlandish bullshit because it's marketed to black people.
Well, it's even more problematic with that, because people do listen to what she's saying, and then they
Mhm.
think that's the cool thing. So then you get
Yes.
the next generation saying the same type of things and hypersexualizing our children and doing
Yes.
and overall thinking that's what's cool.
Yes.
It's so bad. And you think that's not intentional? Come on.
100% it's intentional. It's 100% intentional. And then you have rappers out there that I think like Dochi. I think Dochi has some skills, man. I think Dochi can really rap, right? And I know she's getting a push, but I'm noticing now that she's wearing a lot more skimpy stuff than she did in the beginning of her career. Why is that?
Oh, I'm
Because
sorry,
the
that always
industry is
happens.
pushing it.
No,
Huh?
that always happens. That happened with Mariah Carey, that happened with Toni Braxton. Like, when they first start with their first albums, like the first maybe 1 or 2, and then they
Mhm.
start wearing less and less on the album covers. That's what happens with that. So, she's just doing the cycle right now, that's all it is.
Yeah, but the cycle is an industry thing to get more eyes on you,
Mhm.
right? You
Mhm.
listen to Sixy Red, she can't rap, but if you hear her lyrics, right? And little girls running around singing is my booty hole's brown, because she says that in her songs. Like, what are we doing here? Rap is absolutely being destroyed. It is being destroyed, and
I don't even
we
listen
don't have
anymore.
enough. Me neither.
I just done. I'm done.
Me neither. And I don't have enough time to get into it. But Ti is going after 50.
I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah. Hey. Okay. So before we go, because I do at least want to play the track and I want to hear what you guys have to say about it, right? But he put out a track going at 50. He said, you know what? And I think that hip hop needs this. Hip hop needs this, right? Kendrick Lamar um and Drake was a good beef, right? But they're not really battle rappers. At least I didn't see any of them as really battle rappers. But now you got an old school big artist Ti going after another old school artist who was big too, 50 Cent, and I want to see if 50 Cent comes back with another song, right? And if he does, then I'm like, okay, this is actually something that I could get down for. So it's a 3-minute song. I'm gonna play it. What do you guys think?
Uh,
I like it.
I like the lyrics, but the beat is a little weak.
Oh, really? I like the beat. I think the beat is fire to me.
Oh,
But yeah, I like the beat. Brian?
Uh, see, we're talking about this N word right now, right? And I find
Mm-hmm.
it problematic, especially with how we're saying this. Um, and it kind of reminds me of why you do it, why you allow these people allow people to say it, because it's only used to tear other people down. Again, now don't get me wrong. Without that, Ti is a monster. He is, but
Mm-hmm.
I think culturally there's an issue here.
Okay, I feel it. So my question is, do you think the issue is with 50? Because he says in the track that 50 only goes after the us. And it's true. 100%. He's only
Mhm.
went after us, right? He ain't going
So,
after the white people. He's going after the black
but
ones.
what
I think
what
that's an
what
issue.
hurts more? What hurts more? My question also is like, are you? Do you think that you're doing anything by saying these lyrics again and saying the words again? How long term are you not also hurting?
It probably. It probably is.
You know, and that's as much as I would say. I think Ti is a cold battle rapper and understands what he's talking about. He's always had his lyrics are always been on point what he's trying to say. But I'm telling culturally we have an issue,
Yeah, we
and
got to
it,
get rid
and,
of that word. I agree
and
with
it's
you.
going to be so hard to get rid of it, and it's going to be too much.
I
So
agree
you know,
with
yeah,
you.
I
especially in the
can't
South.
be upset about what happened with BAFTA, and then say, "Oh man, that was fire." I can't.
I feel you. What did you say, Roberto?
Like I said, especially in the South.
Oh yeah. 100%. Mike, what are your thoughts?
I agree. I co-sign everything Brian said.
I got you. I got you. Me personally, I'm just going because I'm at the point where I don't like 50 anymore. Like I wasn't a huge fan of 50
I never
back in
was
the day
either.
either. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So I'm hoping Ti smokes him. To be honest with you, I really do. I hope Ti smokes him. But again, like you said, we talking about the N word being it's all over the song and stuff like that. So I get it, and I always say that we need to get it out of our music. But listen, if it's gonna bring hip hop back and bring the battle rapping and stuff back, I'm down for it. I'm down for it. We
But
just gotta
is
learn.
that good or is that hurt? Does that hurt the community again?
But see,
Well,
but also, isn't my knowledge of Ti is very limited as far as I mean, I know he was an Ant Man, the first two at least, and then something happened with him and his wife or girlfriend or something, or
Oh,
like
tiny.
I think
Yeah.
that's what. Yeah, I think that wasn't it. Was that what you were talking about, Brian? Was it something else? Because that's the only I heard there were some things where like they were tying people up or something like that, or
Yeah, they had some problems
like okay, so
because
that's what
Ti
you were
has
talking
some
about, right?
issues. Yeah, Ti has had some of his own issues that he's done with to some other people and it's hard. Right? What I would say is it's hard people in glass house to throw stones. You know,
Hmm.
that's issues overall. When you haven't done your thing, you know.
So this is
yeah,
this is indicative of the way the world is, though, because you have to pick the lesser of the two.
oh,
Oh,
Mike, your mic went out. Yeah, but you're correct. Before we go, I just seen this and I gotta show it. If you guys can't read it, I'll read it for you. It's posted by going to the pictures, and he says, "You know what would be awesome? If at least one of these cats, one of these two, came out and said, 'We've looked into Rhett's and John Davison and his life story, and all is forgiven. He clearly meant no harm, but they won't, and that says more about their character than John's.'" We talked about this to the whole fucking stream. You see it right there. Now they trying to blame the two black guys that were the victim because they ain't come out and say everything is good. No, why the fuck doesn't the guy with Tourette's apologize? Why doesn't the BBC apologize? What are we talking about here?
Who's
This is
saying
why
the
I
black
can't
have to
fucking
apologize? Who
stand.
said that?
What's that? The Twitter post. That's the Twitter
Oh,
post. That's the guy who posted on Twitter. He says they need to come out and say shit.
who the fuck are you?
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And oh, I don't even know if I want to go through the comments, right? Because it has 2,000 and 2,900 likes. Let's just see some of these comments real quick before we go. I could certainly sympathize with the awkwardness this world causes in the heart of a black person, but as an adult, I also know kids and Tourette patterns say the darndest things. Yeah, it must have been embarrassing for sure, but I find it difficult to believe the word carries such hateful gravities when they use it themselves in everyday conversations, music. You see? Right back around to what the fuck we were saying. I'm sorry, Roberta. I know you want to go and stuff, and if you feel like you got to go, you can. It's no problem because I'm just gonna say like another 5 more minutes about this and then you know what I mean? But this is exactly what we talked about on the stream today. It's the exact same fucking thing. And this guy's pointing it out, Brian.
I don't understand why, as black people, we're always expected to take everything in stride. We're expected to always have the excuses. We hear what someone else does, but we have to apologize for them. Why do I have to teach my kids being pulled over? I have to tell them the way they have to deal with police officers. Why do I have to
Facts.
not be angry when someone calls me out a name that's the original sin of this country? Why do I have to apologize for wearing my hair a certain type of way? Why do I
Facts.
have to apologize for being myself? And I'm the one who has to be expected to always keep a level head. And honestly, that makes me tell you, all I want to say is fuck you. And you know what? I honestly hope that one day you realize how stupid you are. And I hope someone
100%.
makes you realize it. I don't hope for pain or anything else, but I hope that you understand the hateful words and the hateful things that you put out there and how stupid and ignorant you are.
100%. Because there's more. Or maybe donate some money to help people with disabilities. All they have to do is watch the film. It's literally that simple. However, Michael B. Jordan will milk this for all it's worth to get that Oscar. Sad. Yeah, I wish they would actually defend him now and actually come together publicly. We all make mistakes and try to teach people.
So we should apologize for us feeling hurtful about the word. You're right. What's what we should do? We should apologize for us hurting your ears and hurting your sensibilities. My
Our
bad.
fault. We give you a reason to say something negative against us.
And then we're supposed to apologize. You know what I mean? Oh no, guys, it was. Listen, and we
Sorry
said
for
it
being
last
black.
night. What's that?
Sorry for being black.
Yeah, for real, Roberto, one
Sorry for
hundred
making
percent.
you use a word that is hurtful on national TV. My bad. I shouldn't
Mm-hmm.
have done that.
That just pissed me off, but sadly, I'm not surprised. It pissed me off too. I was about to end the show, and then I seen it, and I'm like, this is the exact same thing we are fucking talking about throughout this whole stream. The exact same thing, right? He mentioned the music. He mentioned us saying the word, right? He mentioned that. So that's a problem. We have to understand that that's a problem because that's the excuse they are going to fucking use anytime they use the word. They're going to say, well, if they can say it, why can't we?
And the answer, there's reasons why you shouldn't be able to say it, but honestly, the only thing you can do now is come into the community and say we're not going to. We're not going to let you say it. We're not going to
100%.
use it anymore, and that's it.
100%. 100%. And you know what's funny too? One last thing is I see a lot of channels. I watch like big channels. They use the word constantly. They don't get no like ads taken away
Strikes,
from them or
nothing.
nothing. But when I do it, it's like, oh, ad sensitivity. We can't play ads on your video because of the words you're using. And I'm just like, okay, so if that's the case, then you should do it to them. They'll stop saying it, right? The only way it's gonna come out is if we use it and it affects people's money. That's the only way. You're right. As sad as it is, as long as it doesn't affect anybody's money, they're going to continue to use it. And that's the bullshit. That's the fucking bullshit. And I'm
It's
sick
real.
of it. I'm sick of it. But with that being said, guys, we are going to close it up for the night. I appreciate everybody that came in here. Mike got disconnected again too as well, so I do apologize for that. Brian, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
Yeah, 1/3 of Spoiler Kings. I actually going to be doing. Me and Tank are going to film talking about the Dakota. Right here, the Dakota incident. This is a good the comic book,
What?
but also the issues that we're having with it. We're going to talk about how they changed the history of Milestone and how problematic it
So
is. And
so what did they? Okay, real quick, just
it's a
before the,
whole. There's a huge thing, but they
I'll watch
changed
a
the
video.
entire history of Milestone, and even in the comic books, there's some problematic things still. So yeah, it's yeah.
Absolutely. Dandelion said this one. There's no excuse for this situation, but I don't think the word is quite as loaded in the UK. It might not have seemed like a big deal there. Um,
Ignorance is not
so
an excuse. That's
I
all.
was just about to say that. I was just about to say that. Regardless of anything, people have to understand because even here in Canada, right? Not the same as America, but we understand that that word does it affects all of us. Whether you're in the UK, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in the US, it affects all of us because they see all of us the same way. And that's the problem. Roberto, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
We're here Wednesday nights with my boy, Bigger Ford Entertainment, our MIA partner, JG Shaolin, getting shit off our chest live.
100%. Guys, make sure to check us out on Friday because we will be back. We're doing some from streams, and I cannot wait because I am excited to watch season 3 again. Like, I've been sneakily watching couple pieces of few episodes and shit, so I can't wait for that. Dewan said one more thing. Anzo, you don't have to kick like off the stream, Anzo. You don't have to kick like off the stream. No, we got to get off
Mike.
the stream. I'm
Hey, you
sorry.
don't have to kick Mike off the stream.
Oh no, I didn't kick. Oh, Mike, I got you. Okay, no, I didn't kick Mike off stream. We'd never do that. But make sure to check that out. You know, we got some great stuff coming on there. I'm also putting out little clips of some of the theories that we had out there as well. I put one out today. One out will come out tomorrow, and then tomorrow's Thursday. Then one will come out Friday, the day we do the stream. So make sure to check that stuff out, man. And I appreciate everybody that came here. And listen, we had a pretty good 12, 15 people up in here tonight. But next week, I'm gonna show some booty so we can get 95 people up in here again. All right. I'm just warning the people that are in here now that next week there might be an accidental slip of some titties or some booties. I'm just saying,
Yeah. We got to
you know,
take that and we want it again.
you know what I mean? So you might be looking forward to some of that next week. But at the end of the day, one last comment. Why the Tourette's dude would have it in his vocabulary might be part of the question we should be asking. We talked about that too as well, Dandelion,
No,
100%.
but I mean, honestly, and that's the only thing that's not fair because I think that we know what people think and what people say. He knows the word, and Tourette's literally goes for the worst of the worst of the worst thoughts processing in your mind,
Mm-hmm.
and the anxiety is what pushes it out. But that's why they say all the other things. You see what he called, women. He called it, he said a lot
Yeah.
of these type of things. That's what happens to us. That is literally the sickness. The problem is still, though you didn't mean it. It still affected me.
Oh,
It
and you know
still
what's
hurt me, and you should apologize for hurting me and hurting everyone out there watching.
and
And
I'm
that's real.
sorry, I know we're trying to go, but one last thing, because I know Brian wasn't here for this. Did you know that that was the first award of the night, Brian?
Yes, I knew that was the beginning. The beginning.
So,
Yeah.
so all of that stuff where they're talking about, oh, he blurted out all of these words, it's irrelevant because that was the first fucking one, right? So after that, as a man with Tourette's, and you know that you may say some stuff, you should have got up and said, you know what, maybe I shouldn't be here, or maybe I should be sitting way back in the back where people in the front can't hear me.
No, they shouldn't have put him. They sat him near
A mic.
the microphone.
Yeah.
This was intentional. And don't BAFTA and BBC should be taking the brunt of all the problems that we were talking, all the stuff that we're talking about. That's who should be getting all our hate, not this man. He is who he is. He should do apologize, but that's it. He should. But he's not the
100%.
end all be all.
And there is one more thing I just wanted to show. We're not going to talk about because I think I said it last night on the stream, and I seen it here where they say to ban BAFTA. Hold on, it's just a little post. Hold on, it's maybe on my profile. Okay, no, I don't have it, but I'll find it another time. And
Good damn
Roberto.
BAFTA, but no one watches it. So
Yeah. But still, you know what I mean? At least you gotta try and do something like that. And Roberto,
Yeah.
remind me next week because that Megan Kelly went after your girl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she went after Abby, bro. And it
No way.
was it's fucked up. You wanna see it?
Yeah.
It's quick.
All right.
It's quick.
Then
It's
we're gonna
quick.
talk about it.
What's that?
We're gonna talk about it after.
We'll talk about it next week. I won't keep you up here too late because I know you gotta go to work. I just want you to hear it. Here it is.
You're the answer
Hold
to.
on. And listen to the way she talks. Only a minute 13. Listen to this.
Are we really going to pretend that you're the answer to CNN's need for fair and balanced coverage and new audience? Because you're failing. No one watches you. Your audience has been cut to below 400,000, which is a complete embarrassment. You ought to be fired. And your cocky, smug sense of self ought to be wiped away in one ratings period because no one watches you. What does it say that you're the most interesting thing on CNN and literally nobody's watching you? Okay. You don't have a long job trajectory, sweetheart. And when you eventually get fired as your network implodes and try to go out into the independent lane, you will fail there too, because all you do is speak in a monotone and say things that attack President Trump while trying to sound reasonable, but not being reasonable, and constantly cutting off the one conservative on your panel and showing slight indignation whenever they make a good point for who could listen to this woman? It's horrible. She's got more people on her panel than she does audience members.
What's that?
She's talking pure shit. I remember watching Abby. She just had that one show at 10 o'clock. Now this woman has like 3 or 4 shows on CNN. So how is
100%?
That even true?
She also just wrote a book too.
This woman's kicking ass, man.
And she's fine.
Mm-hmm.
She is fine, right? Like I love watching her show because she goes at them, man, and she doesn't back down. She's amazing. Megan Kelly is a racist ass bitch. Mike, tell the people.
But see, hold on. Why do they give that guy a platform? Because there's that dude, that white dude, that's the Republican dude that's always kissing Trump's ass, and I guess because you want to have the other side too. But he is a smug prick, and they continue to give him a platform to share his smug dickishness. Like, I don't get it. I guess confrontation, maybe. I mean, like,
because the world is terrible.
I think that's the guy that Roberto hates the most, right, Roberto?
There's a few. Actually, and 2 of them are women.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What time does your show come on? Because I always miss it, and I only get to watch clips.
10 o'clock, Monday to Friday.
10 o'clock, Monday to Friday. I'm going to check it out. I like her, man. I think she's got.
I tell the wife, listen, if you're not watching it, I'm going upstairs. Me and Abby have Monday to Friday.
Facts. I feel you on that one. Mike, tell the people where they can find you, sir.
At my comic book store, 7 days a week.
Did you see because I know you went on live last night and I was still up, and you went off right as I made my comment. But you got to stop playing them little kiddie games, Mike, and get on a real man's game, bro. Like, you got 12-year-olds whooping your ass in Fortnite.
Not at 3 a.m. They should all be asleep, man.
Yeah, but there's people like in the UK where time's different, right?
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, but guys, thank you everybody for popping in. Much appreciated. We will be back next week with another episode of some fire O.O.C. I want to thank Brian the Grizzly for popping on today, and I want to thank Mike for coming in too as well. You know what I mean? It's always a pleasure to stream with you guys. But other than that, guys, we outie, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Let's blow this shit the fuck up. Let's go. Look.
I stack dollars, players in Chevys and Monte Carlos, moving big weight by the carload. First you get the money, the power, then the bitches follow. Got a burner on my waist and it's still with hollows. You know the motto, swing it out the bottle. Got a couple model chicks and they love to swallow. Fill up my cup right quick, that's macchiato. And I don't care if you black, white, or eating tacos. I put that on my Tata Andres Delgado. Fuck around and end up in a cup of caldo. I let the 9 blow, running from the 5-0. Pistol on my side, so if you trip, you get your mind blown. I'm from the city where them winos run up to your side though. Empty out a clip and watch it die slow. And then the preacher read the Bible. And you're waking the mistakes for trying to take the cake that I won't. Beauty valor, music's the cure. Cause when I'm spitting on this microphone, there's never a flaw. Yeah, never a flaw, never a flaw. Cause when I'm spitting on the microphone, there's